In the waning light of a turbulent Russian era, the enigmatic figure of Grigori Rasputin emerges from the mist of history. Tales of mysticism, power, and sinister influence weave together a portrait of a man who seemed to defy the ordinary. In 1916, Russia was aflame with uncertainty and intrigue, and Rasputin's presence at the heart of the imperial court added an extra layer of mystique. His reputation for spiritual insight mixed with rumors of dark dealings, leading many to view him as both a miracle worker and a dangerous charlatan. Through conspiracies and whispered secrets, the narrative of Rasputin's life became a tapestry of myth and reality. As we journey into his extraordinary final day, a day marked by poisoning, gunshots, brutal beatings, and a final, murky plunge into the depths of a river, we are introduced to a story that is as baffling as it is fascinating. With every retelling, the imagery grows more vivid and the boundaries between legend and truth blur. Today, we delve into a story that continues to intrigue historians and captivate the popular imagination, revealing a man who, even in death, refused to fade quietly into obscurity. Born into a humble Siberian village, Rasputin's early years were shrouded in mysticism and hardship. His upbringing in a remote corner of Russia imbued him with an air of otherworldly insight, which seemed almost predestined to defy his lowly beginnings. As he journeyed away from the quiet life of a peasant, whispers of miracle cures and prophetic visions began to surround him. Embraced by a small community of fervent believers, his reputation as a healer and spiritual guide grew rapidly. Word of his uncanny abilities reached the corridors of the Russian court, where discontent and desperation mingled, in the shadow of a faltering monarchy. In this climate of uncertainty, the imperial family welcomed Rasputin as a trusted advisor. The allure of his enigmatic presence offered a glimmer of hope amid the encroaching turmoil of political decay and social unrest. Yet, beneath the surface of miraculous healings and prophetic words, dark rumors and scandalous gossip festered. Critics claimed that his methods were steeped in superstition and manipulation, and there were hints of impropriety that both scandalized and fascinated the noble elite. The contrast between his humble origins and his prestigious position only deepened the enigma that he embodied. Over time, his personal life became as intertwined with the destiny of the imperial court as the tumultuous currents shaping the wider Russian society. In this intricate tapestry of faith, power, and intrigue, Rasputin remained a figure both feared and revered, embodying the collision of ancient mysticism and modern ambition. In subsequent years, his mere presence evoked both awe and suspicion. Many believed that his penetrating gaze concealed divine secrets, while critics argued that he manipulated fate. This duality cast a long, enigmatic shadow over every encounter, stirring passions and seeding quiet fear. Thus, the legend of Rasputin grew ever more mysterious profoundly. As the Russian Empire teetered on the brink of revolution, political tensions escalated like a gathering storm. In the opulent halls of the imperial palace, whispers about Rasputin grew louder with every passing day. Nobles and ministers, troubled by his influence, watched his inexplicable rise with alarm and uncertainty. His presence in court stirred both hope and resentment, as the once stable order was slowly breaking apart under the weight of internal strife. Behind golden doors and velvet curtains, conspiracies and secret meetings became the norm, as powerful figures debated how to counteract his seemingly inexhaustible sway over the royal family. One could almost feel the tension in the air, the heavy silence before a thunderclap, the unspoken fear that a single misstep might ignite a chain of events leading to ruin. This charged atmosphere was not merely the product of courtly rivalries, but stemmed from deep-rooted social divisions and an empire in crisis. Every glance and gesture in the shadowed corridors of power hinted at betrayal, while Rasputin's mystic allure only added fuel to the fire. The collision of old-world mysticism with the demands of modern political governance created an environment ripe for radical change, a cauldron of suspicion where loyalty and treachery were intertwined. In such a climate, decisions were made in hushed tones and with ruthless finality, setting the stage for the unprecedented act against a man who had become both a symbol of hope and a manifestation of decay. In this swirling maelstrom of power struggles and ancient beliefs, every decision took on the weight of destiny. the elite's unease mingled with a desperate hope for renewal, as the empire staggered under its internal burdens. This tension set in motion events that would forever alter the course of Russian history. Inevitable change loomed over the empire with silent force. On one chilling day in late 1916, a carefully orchestrated plot converged to seal Rasputin's fate. The conspirators, cloaked in the shadows of their own despair and ambition, gathered with a singular purpose: to end the enigmatic influence that had disrupted the delicate balance of power. The day began with an insidious act. Poison was discreetly administered to Rasputin in a carefully prepared meal and drink. Even as the toxins coursed through his veins, an air of uncanny resilience clung to him, baffling both friend and enemy alike. Moments later, a volley of gunshots shattered the silence, each bullet a desperate attempt to silence a voice perceived as both lethal and mesmerizing. Yet Rasputin, defiant in the face of death, seemed to shrug off the wounds as if they were mere blemishes on an immortal facade. In the ensuing chaos, his body was ruthlessly struck, subjected to brutal beatings by those who believed that only raw force could quell an otherworldly presence. With each blow, the air grew heavier, as if the very heavens were mourning the fall of a man who had transcended mortal bounds. But the final act of this grim drama was yet to come. As night fell, Rasputin was cast into a tumultuous river, his body immersed in frigid waters that mirrored the cold detachment of those who orchestrated his demise. The current, relentless and unforgiving, carried him away from the realm of the living. Witnesses later recounted the surreal scene, a man seemingly defying death even in his most vulnerable moment, as if his spirit had merged with the dark waters. His death, both violent and shrouded in macabre ritual, left behind a legacy of questions. Was it poison, bullets, or sheer willpower that allowed him to endure such an onslaught? The narrative of Rasputin's final day has since evolved into a haunting testament to the blurred line between myth and reality. In the hours that followed this relentless series of violence, the atmosphere was thick with disbelief and sorrow. The conspirators, though triumphant in their grim task, were haunted by the surreal nature of their deed. Rumors quickly spread through the corridors of power and the streets alike, each retelling amplifying the mystery of Rasputin's seemingly impossible survival. The day became etched in history as a chaotic blend of cruelty, mysticism, and the inexorable drive to reclaim control. Thus, the legend was sealed by tragedy forever. Following Rasputin's dramatic demise, the ripple effects across Russia were immediate and profound. In the aftermath, the imperial court and the people alike grappled with a complex mix of relief and lingering dread. Whispers of the mystic healer had already evolved into an enduring myth, casting a long shadow over the already tumultuous landscape. The sudden vacuum created by his departure stirred uncertainty among political leaders, leaving many to question the stability of the regime. His death became a pivotal moment, a stark symbol of the chaos that had come to define the era. Across the country, citizens debated the truth behind the violent events, while storytellers and chroniclers wove a narrative that blurred the lines between fact and legend. The legend of Rasputin took on a life of its own, growing richer with each retelling. What began as an act of desperation transformed into a powerful closing chapter of an age haunted by corruption and despair. In that period of instability, his image served as both a cautionary tale and a macabre muse, inspiring art, literature, and political discourse. The innate human fascination with the enigmatic and the forbidden ensured that Rasputin's story would not be forgotten. His spectral presence seemed to linger, a reminder of a time when the forces of superstition and power collided with devastating effect. History would forever remember his final moments as emblematic of an empire on the brink and the mysterious allure of a man who defied convention. Over the ensuing months, political leaders and common citizens alike examined every detail of the events, piecing together fragmentary testimonies that grew wilder with time. Murmurs in quiet alleys merged with elaborate stories told in grand halls, creating a legacy steeped in both horror and awe. Thus, Rasputin's mystery would forever captivate hearts beyond mortal reckoning. Reflecting upon the extraordinary journey through Rasputin's life and death, one is struck by the sheer magnitude of his legend. His dramatic end, filled with poison, gunfire, brutal beatings, and a final, unforgiving plunge into icy waters transcends ordinary historical events. The myth that has grown around his persona continues to evoke both fascination and dread. His story, steeped in enigma, reminds us how the interplay of power, superstition, and human fallibility can give birth to legends that outlive their makers. The echoes of that fateful day reverberate through the corridors of time, urging us to question what is myth and what is truth. In the grand tapestry of history, Rasputin stands as a symbol of the unpredictability and often terrifying nature of fate. His life and death remain a testament to the fragile boundaries between reality and myth, encouraging us to explore the depths of human belief and the extraordinary ways in which history is shaped. In the quiet moments of reflection, the memory of Rasputin serves as a profound reminder that history is not merely a record of events, but a living, evolving saga woven with mystery and human passion. His enduring legacy continues to inspire timeless fascination.